All right, let's get started modeling the character. So I'm going to go ahead and press 1 on the number pad to go into the front view. Shift A, again, I'm in object mode. If I'm not in object mode, I want to go up here to make sure that I'm set to object mode. Shift A, and I'm going to go to cube. I want to make sure that I don't move this cube left or right away from the center. If I do, I'm going to just hit Control Z. And I'm going to go to my move, and I'm going to press this, I'm going to move this straight up like this. Okay, I want to align, well, actually, let's just go ahead and align it to his torso. So to do that, I'm going to hit Tab to enter edit mode, and I'm in X-ray mode, so it's going to be grabbing the vertices behind. I'm going to select it like that, move it down. I'm going to grab these, and I'm going to bring that up like that. And then I'm going to maybe select the whole thing, and then I'm going to just hit scale, and then I can scale it in like so. Okay, and I can see that that aligns kind of to the torso. I'm going to go ahead and press 3, and I'm just going to grab these and go ahead and move those in like this and like that. Okay, excellent. So now obviously we're going to need to have more information to get a better representation of the torso. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if you remember, the shortcut for the loop, cut, and slide is Control R. So I'm going to go Control R, and I need to make sure that I select this. I want to make sure that the cube is selected before I can go into edit mode. So I'm going to now in edit mode, I'm going to go Control R, and then I'm going to left mouse click and left mouse click again, and that's going to be at the dead center, and that's what I want. Now, if I want to do something, I could hit Tab, and I'm going to go ahead and go over here, and I want to turn on my wireframe. When I turn on the wireframe, I can see that split that I created there, even if I click off of it. If I didn't have wireframe on, I wouldn't be able to see that. Okay, but I do want to see that right now. Now, I could click on this, hit Tab, and if I want to move a point, you can see here I have to make sure that I'm in vertex mode. So that's all I've been moving right now. But I could also be in edge mode, and if I'm in edge mode, you can see I can grab an entire edge and hit Control Z. And then I could be in face mode, and I can grab a face. But I want to make sure that I'm in vertex mode. And I'm going to drag over these corner vertices and move it up. And you can see that when I move it up, I actually want it to be the same on the other side. So if I wanted to do that, I could go up here, and I can see that I could try X, Y, or Z. I'm going to try Z, let's see. And if I move that, I can see, okay, nothing happens. There. If I have X, now when I move it, it does the same on the other side. That's going to be good for a little bit, but I'll show you actually another way that we're going to mirror using a modifier. Now, I'm going to start doing some more splits. I'm going to put a split this way right here because I can see that the image is kind of leaving us. So I'm going to go hit Control R, and then I can kind of move this down like that, and then left mouse click again. And you'll see that it's, instead of going straight through, it's slanted. That's because it's kind of averaging from its neighbors. And you can see that its neighbor, especially down here, is really slanted. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab that and move it down like this, maybe push it in like that, and maybe move this one up. And you can see how now it's aligning to the image a little bit better. Now I'm going to go here, Control R, trying to figure out where I want it for the armpit. That looks good. Grab this, move it over like that, and that looks pretty good. For this area, I'm actually going to go like this, Control R. It's going to put a split through there. And now you can see that we have a new scenario happening. That even though I have mirroring turned on, it's not going to mirror the fact that I split that, right? So I feel like if I have an existing thing, it's going to work. But if I create something new only on one side, now I have a problem. So I'm going to undo that. So the way around this is I'm going to go to face mode. I'm going to drag select over this half of the model, and I'm going to hit delete. And I'm going to say faces, and now I can see that half the model is deleted. Now I'm going to go back to object mode, so I'm going to hit tab, and now this is selected in object mode. And over here I'm going to add a modifier. So the modifier icon is this blue wrench, and if I click on that, now I can go here and I can see there's a list of modifiers. And if I go on here, I can just middle mouse wheel, and you can see how it kind of scrubs through. I kind of want to draw your attention to the fact that the modifiers are in alphabetical order, or each list is in alphabetical order. So if you know what it's called, it's kind of easy to find if you know that. And I'm going to go to the mirror modifier. When I do that, I can see that it's mirroring against the x-axis. Just like we had selected x before, it's mirroring that way. And clipping will make it so if I have something on the center, it's going to merge if it gets within this distance, and clipping just means that it's not going to be able to cross the center line. And that's what I want. I want it to be merged at the center and not being able to kind of like overlap and break that center line. So that looks pretty good. I could close my mirror right here, but it's not going, it'll still affect it. Okay, and more about the modifiers later, but let's get back to our object here. I'm going to see what the side view is looking like. Well, actually, before I do that, let's do Control R. And now I can see that I have to be in edit mode. So I could edit mode. Now I can go Control R. And now when I click, you're like, wait a minute, it's not putting that line in. But you can see that once I start to do this, now the line is there. And now I'm going to left click, and there it is. Now I need to move a point. So I want to be in vertex mode. And the shortcuts for these are 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And you can see that I'm using 1, 2, and 3, but I'm using it on the top numbers, not the keypad. So if I did 1, 2, and 3 on the keypad, it would change my view, where here I'm changing what mode I'm in. So I'm going to put it to vertex mode. I'm going to grab this one. And I no longer actually need this on. This is going to take care of everything. So now if I move that, I'm going to move that so it's at the inside of the leg right here. There we go. And I can see that it's working. So no matter what I do, if I extrude out an arm or if I put in an edge loop, it'll happen on this side because of the mirror modifier. That looks pretty good. I'm going to press 3. And I can see that I have some work to do. On the side, I'm going to try to not move up or down because that's going to affect it from the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab over these. Notice that when I select them, I drag over it like this because I want to make sure that the one behind it is selected. You can see that I have the select box here, and I want to make sure that if you had something else like select lasso, you can see how that would be different. Okay, I just want to make sure that it's select box. And now I'm going to go ahead and move this until it hits the model. So I can see that obviously these are representing the back of the model. Whoop. This is looking a little weird, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of keep going like that. Okay, good. That looks good. I'll just kind of go like that. And then this, obviously I can't see everything that I need to, but I'm just going to do my best to align it with what I can see. Okay, excellent. That looks pretty good. I'll check it in the front. Yes, that still looks good. So now I can kind of continue the process. So mirror modifier is all set up. That should make it easy from this point forward.